So I'm going to introduce all the little folds that we do first. We'll start off with our bread fold. We use these mostly within catering and at the Meadow. Can't use them as much anymore. They like a cleaner look, so we'll just put the bread on the wood. But these are really cute. They're almost like little tissue boxes, so you can put your little breads in there. Keeps them nice and warm, keeps them nice and safe. Yeah, that's nice. This is a serviette. This is something that we use every single day. It'll be used for setting the dining room out the canyon. We use them to tuck into our aprons as little tails. Yeah, we use them for a lot. Wine service as well, if you want to get all fancy, you can do that. Cool. And this is our roll-up. It is a little bit different than I think what most of you would do if you've ever had to do a roll-up before. We like to make them almost indestructible. So if you do that, they don't explode because we transport them from clubhouse to clubhouse, inside, outside, and it's just terrible when there's silverware everywhere. So that's a good little thing that we do here. And lastly, this is our artichoke fold. You will mostly be using this at the canyon and for catering. They put soup bowls on it, and it's kind of nice because it gives you these little pockets for the spoon, little crackers, little cast irons on top of it. So yeah, just makes everything look a little bit more presentable. At the Meadow, we don't use those. We typically will use old menus because we have so many of them and they're really pretty. We will rip them up, and it kind of just adds to more of our like rustic, casual feel. So that's why that's all done. All right, let's get started. We are going to start with the serviette today. So everyone grab your black napkins. Perfect. All right, and then for every single fold that we do, we're gonna want to be seam side up. So that ugly side, the ridges, that'll be facing upwards. Yep, you're good. Perfect. All right, cool. So for this one, this is probably gonna be one of the easier ones. So just follow my lead here. You're gonna take your bottom corners, and you're going to fold it up 2/3 of the way. Perfect. And then you're just going to fold those top corners down over it. Perfect. Now you can take your bottom again, fold that upwards, and you don't want to fold all the way. You want to leave, I think, about 1 inch to a 1/2 inch gap at the top there. Perfect. Now grab them by the top corners, flip it towards you. Awesome. Now take your right hand, put it in the middle. Now take your left side and flip it over your right hand. And you all see these 3 stripes. You want the bottom ones over your hand to match the top ones underneath. So it's a little bit offset. So if you're looking at it, your top part's going to be shorter than your bottom half. Perfect. And now just flip it over. Perfect. So this is how it'll look. It's kind of like the opposite of a mullet. It'll be longer in the front and shorter in the back. As long as your 3 lines are all matched up, you should be good to go. And everyone looks really good. Everything is on the right. Your little gaps are on the right side. Perfect. All right. Moving on. Everyone seemed to get that one pretty quickly. Let's do a bread fold. So we'll unravel our pretty serviettes. And for this one, same deal, seam side up, but we're gonna go horizontal this time. Perfect. All right, so for these ones, take your bottom corners, fold them up, but only until you see those 3 stripes. So that solid stripe in the middle is gonna stay on the bottom. Perfect, perfect. All right, so just a little bit smaller, so just the 3 lines on the top there. Oh, yeah, all good. Oh, okay. Perfect, do the same thing with your top. All right, now you're going to fold those and just kind of meet them in the middle. It doesn't have to be perfect. You don't want them on top of each other, but if they overlap a little, it's okay. Not the end of the world. All right. Perfect. Now this is kind of the hardest part. You want to grab the whole thing and just flip it over. Right? It's stressful. It's like flipping an omelet. Awesome. Okay, now put your hand, it doesn't matter which one you use for this one, but just go ahead and put your hand in the middle, and you're going to flip it over your hand, and you want to leave about, I want to say 2 to 3 inches from the end there, so you have a little bit of space. Perfect, we're all good. Now take that bottom flap, and you just want to fold that excess into it. Yeah, so this part here, just flip that little side in, up. There you go, and then fold your little excess into it, just like that. I know it looks a little funky, but once you flip it over, you have a perfect bread fold. And we'll store them this way too, face up. Yeah, there you go. And you just open it up and now you have a little home for whatever you want to put in there. Hopefully it's bread. Cool. All right. You guys all good? Any questions so far? You guys are so smart. I love this. Perfect.
I
Okay.
was kind of scared for the napkin folding, honestly. I feel really dumb.
I
Like,
I haven't done one of these since training last year,
I know.
but that's because I'm at the Canyon. So.
Yeah. There's a reason for that. Okay, let's do our artichokes next. So these are called sandalwood linens. They are square. Your striped linens are usually a rectangle. Catering has figured out how to do all the folds with squares, which is really impressive. So. Cool. All right, for these, have you guys ever made those cootie catcher portions? Okay, that's exactly what this is. So
okay.
go ahead and take your corners, and you're gonna just meet them all in the middle. Very perfect. And it's okay if it's not perfect. It's not your fault. It is usually the napkin. They are warped. They come from mission linen, so just bear with us there. All right, and now from there, we're going to take those corners and flip them in. And if it's a little puffy or you're having a hard time getting your corners to look more squarish, just pat it down, kind of rub down the seams a little bit. Perfect. All right. Now for this part, you're going to put your hand on top, other hand on the bottom, and you're going to flip it over like a pancake. Awesome. So there you go. Perfect. All right. So getting it as square as you can is probably the most helpful. It'll make the nicest looking fold, but they don't need to be perfect every time. So now from there, we're going to take those corners and also meet those in the middle. And once you guys do that, I'll show you how we store them, which is just simply flipping them in half like so. And we'll usually make these in bulk and just put them all in a milk crate so expos can grab them when they need them and super easily just set place for them. Cool, so I'm gonna show you how to fluff them up now. So take your little fold, unravel it and like that. Keep your hand in the middle of those. Sometimes they like to pop up, they're testy. Cool. And to get that little flower effect, you're going to take one corner and you have this little extra piece kind of at the end, and you just want to gently tug it while still putting your hand in the middle so it doesn't destroy it. So check that way. So this little corner, put that one in, and it's just that piece there. Kind of looks like like a handkerchief almost. Do I have it backwards? Let me take a look. See. No, you're good.
I think I did.
You did it right. I think you just need to grab.
They usually
It's just
have
that part there. Yeah. No, you're good.
Thank you.
No worries.
It's like.
All right. Those all look really, really good. I would say I would have a little bit more, just to give it more of a common shape. Yeah, I like to make mine look like tortellinis. Some people don't. I do. All right. Perfect. Everyone good? Do you guys want to do that one again, or do you want to move on? Moving on. Heard. Okay. Thank you. Wow. All right. So everyone, take your black napkins out one more time. We are going to be horizontal for this one, and this one is arguably a little bit trickier. It will take the most time to learn, but I promise you'll be doing a bajillion, so you will learn. Okay. So for this one, take your left corner and pull it all the way up to the top, so that you have seam against seam, just one straight ridge.
Like this?
Nope, horizontal. And then, no, you're good, no worries. And then take that left corner and just drag it all the way to the top. Just the corner. So like
This corner?
yeah, so just like
The triangle.
Oh.
there you go. Okay, perfect. All right, and from there, everyone take your finger. And you all see, sorry, your left finger. Do you all see that big bold stripe down the middle? Put it on the left side of that. Now you're going to take this piece and just flip it straight up. So you're kind of going along that thick black line as well. Perfect, nicely done. And you can kind of tell you did it correctly if you have this little pointy tip at the end there. That means you just lined everything up right. But it's a good little indicator. All good. Let me make sure. Perfect. All right. Next, we're gonna grab our silverware. So we're always gonna start with a knife. Knives are very fun. So you're gonna put it on that big bold line that's kind of jutting out sideways. And you always want the ridges of your knife to face away from you. Perfect. And you want it also from that little tip that we have there.
I like
Maybe
to
you want
just
to give
put
it
that line
maybe
wider.
like an inch from the top.
Flip it.
A little less than an inch, but
I usually just use that line, just line it all up and just make sure that they're
all right. Awesome. Cool. Next, we're gonna have our forks. So it's always here at the canyon, you do big fork, little fork. At the meadow, we only have one fork, so it's just two forks. But yes, it'll be big, little on top. Their necks are going to lay right on top of each other. And you're gonna put them on top of the knife, but you want the necks to kind of be aligned. So if you kind of do that, you can hear the little ridge of the knife. That's where your silverware is gonna sit. It keeps all the ends the same length. Awesome. Once you do that, you're gonna take this little back part, just flip it over your silverware, and give it a little pinch so it's nice and tight. Perfect. And from there, we are going to start rolling. So the trick is to kind of follow this flat edge of your triangle where the tips of your silverware are facing, and just roll it as straight as you can across. Keeping it tight, rolling it straight are all very tricky things to do at once, but you will learn. And then once we hit about 1.5 rolls, so not all the way yet, sorry. Once we hit 1.5, maybe 2 rolls, you'll have this little tail part. That's what you want to flip over into your silverware. So you're kind of just taking that. So unroll it maybe one more time. There you go, perfect. And then take that end, the whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, right there, and just flip it over. Very nice and tight against your silverware. Awesome. And then keep rolling. And make sure you're trying to stay as straight as you can across. It's okay if it goes off a little bit. But I know. I think I had to make about 300 before I got it. Something clicked. But perfect. All right. So now that we have that, you all have this little tail at the end, right? I'm going to show you this fun little trick. Make sure that opening there is completely clear. You can actually feel the knife and everything. So when you take that little tail, you're just going to press it into that hole where that silverware is, and then you're going to do the same thing all the way around until it's all tucked in. Absolutely. So make sure we have that silverware in there. You can feel it. Take your little tail, and then I just push it in. Everyone has their different ways, but I like to push it. I think it's the easiest. And if it's a little too tight or whatnot, you can take a back of a knife and you can
just maybe jump.
Yeah, absolutely, that happens. So do you guys need that? There's knives here.
I feel like it's just like one.
Yeah, let me see. So this is very nice. So just take that. I just like to right inside.
Okay.
The other side, just right on top of it. Okay. And then for this one, it's a little bit thick. I probably use a knife. I kind of butted it in there.
Yeah, I'm kind of struggling with mine.
Okay, let me see. Perfect. Also very nice. So here it looks like it got just a little funked up, but that silverware is there. So a little. This kind of happens when it kind of does that layering thing.
Okay.
All you gotta do is that, and then just push it. Make sure you're pushing into that clear hole of all the silverware, and then the rest should be a bit smaller. And like I said, if it's a little too tight, you can just stick a knife in. Yeah, of course. Perfect. Oh, this looks great. This looks great. Wait, you already done that. You're fine.
I hope. I've
This
done
looks
so
great
many
too.
of them.
Perfect. The only thing is just let's see here. You just want to make sure everything's all covered when you do it, and everything's tucked in all the way around. Perfect. Those all look great. Make sure they're all nice and tight, and we're gonna do the test, which is that. That is that.
The way I got good at it was like after golf tournament breakfast when there's just like infinite. And we have like 3 hours in between lunch that we just literally do this for 3 hours straight.
That is true. That will happen. And we're all a team too, so everyone in every position can back
So you can like polish, you can do this.
So with that, these are obviously shaped.
All right. Well, how was that for everyone? Awesome. You guys did great. I'm very impressed. Do you guys want to go over another one? Do you guys just want to keep practicing? Whichever one. Totally. Yeah. All right. Serviettes, everybody. Perfect. Alright, so the serviette is going to be a horizontal, and that is the 2/3 up. The meadow has all of this equipment to just and we do share it. So for that barbecue, we're going to basically clear out the legal box. Take your bottom and fold it right back up and over. So, you also want to leave that inch to half an inch gap at the top. So I'd pull it up just a little more. There you go. And then take your top, flip it over towards you. Right hand in the middle. Left side goes over the right hand. And then those bottom stripes will match up to the top. Perfect. So the bottom side of these ones. Oh, so they're yeah, they're gonna be the opposite. Okay. And then flip it over. And you got yourself a serviette. It's just a bad environment. I know it seems like it's just catered, but it's
always on the. This part's always on the right.
Okay.
Yeah. So like you'll like when you're like setting out to like a table, like so like that was always on the right.
And then a little bit more, it's a little bit too much gap. So maybe about that size. That's a good little gap to have. Take that and flip it towards you. But that just kind of helps you put it in perspective of how much. And then these stripes. And these stripes. Those are these stripes and stripes. Bottom. And then that is logos. And then flip that over. There you go. Perfect serviette. All right. Everyone seems very, very proficient at that. So I think we need to keep trying more.
Yeah. You're probably right.
Yes, definitely. All right. Oh, joy. So, for example, taking the water. Okay. And if you guys are having trouble following along, you can also sit next to me. It's kind of hard to learn across because everything's opposite. But if you so choose, I don't smell that bad today. So that might be. But it still needs to be done. So we have had instances where they wash the minnows. Yes, that's perfect. All right. And you want to add just a little bit of gap at the top. Actually, you probably have it. I can't tell this. Looks good. Another example is a lot of these items sausage, for example, which is this item right here. It's around $700. So if we use the water pan, this is now useless. Does it matter how much? You kind of just want to take whatever's behind it, flip it over, and then grab it nice and tightly, and that'll be the. It just helps keep the rest of the roll tight when you're doing it. So like this. Yeah, just like that. From there, you do scroll. And then I like to flip the tail in when you get this little triangle shape. You can see that's perfect. And then flip that in, make sure that's all nice and tucked. And then from there, you just keep going. You keep rolling. You roll, you roll, and then you keep rolling, and then you die, and you roll more.
Go to sleep.
You go to sleep. Roll to sleep. There you go. And then take your little tail, make sure that hole, you have that opening, you can feel the knife and everything in there.
Yeah.
So make sure when you're tucking your tail, you're tucking it into that wide open gap. Otherwise, they get all stuck and it doesn't push down all the way. Yeah. And if you can't get it with your finger, you can always use the butt of your knife to kind of jam it in there. And as long as they don't explode upon, that, you're fine. You did it right.
You can usually. I feel like I can always tell right away when mine's about to fall.
Oh yes.
That's why I can't do it slow.
Your manager can also tell them.
If I do it slow, that's when I struggle with things.
Perfect. Wait, you guys, that's really good. I'm just talking to you a lot. You guys are my best group. Okay. Let's see. What else do you guys want to make?
Can you make a bunny?
Yes. I might have to Google it. Let me see. I only have to do it once a year. Alright, let's see. Exactly. Well, yeah, the metal, it's good for them to know something. all the saffron dye eggs, and then we'll put the egg in here, and we'll tie it with some ribbon and put some flowers in it, and then it'll stand up like this.
That's so cute.
There's another way too, the standing one, but I have to do that. Okay, do you guys want to make a little fortune teller?
Yeah.
So this is actually my favorite fold. I was in Expo for the first year I was here, first 2 years, and this was always my job. That's what I loved it. I absolutely loved it. But the boys would mop and they would just let me sit in my little corner and just make folds forever.
I feel like they're like very on it. Like, we never look out of them, but I think it's because Molly is very.
Oh yeah.
She's not gonna let them run out.
Oh never.
Because one time
That
after
lady's
like
gonna
4th of July, I think I had to prep it. I was like, I'm so bad at these.
The corner to corner from there. Oh, just the corner.
How long have you worked here?
This will be my 5th season. Yeah. Yes, it's been fun. Sorry, this corner. Yeah. So just flip them in the middle, just like that. Awesome.
Yes, so the way shakers work, so obviously you have your lid. They are pretty sharp, so I would be careful, but obviously, so this is your water pan, and just like the slushy, you can kind of see how there's already that residue mark. That's the thing, that's absolutely thing. It's just to keep some moisture in there, but the problem with that is too much moisture will make the burrito soggy and stuff like that, so that's why it's kind of important to put that proper water line. So yeah, you put water in there, and then you bring your.
I know. I was like, who's calling? Oh, they're practicing it.
That looks great. And then we will put our little things and then just give
But
it
yeah,
a tap.
I guess probably just the biggest thing is, in catering, our closing order is polishing these things. Ours is cleaning the equipment,
There we
bringing
go.
it back where it physically belongs, getting it ready for the next night. So our closing order is different.
I don't think so. It
Don't
can
put
be
something
here.
in the center.
See, when you do this, it's perfect.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
They
the
don't see
holes
this.
cover all the mistakes. Don't worry.
Worry about cleaning it, it's ready to go. So putting it back clean is probably the most important.
Awesome.
And if something ever breaks or or if you have suggestions, I'm very open to
So
that.
I think in the future, instead of instead of doing that thing, just tuck a little bit.
Okay.
All right.